Hey, what's up everyone? John here from testprepinsight.com, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Gleim CPA prep course. I used and reviewed this course about 1.5 or 2 years ago now, but since then they've made some fairly significant updates to their program, including reworking their study plan and adding new video lectures. So today we're going to take a fresh look and I'll let you know whether I think Gleim CPA review is worth it. And by the way, I do just want to say that since I'll be limited on time in this video and be focusing on higher level points, if you find you need more detail at any point, you can always check out our full detailed written review we have over on our website. An easy way to get there is just to Google Test Prep Insight Gleim CPA Review. That's a fast way to get there. Alright, so to kick things off, I'm going to break down how the Gleim CPA Review course works. Basically what you get and how it's all organized. This will help provide some context for my personal thoughts on the program, which I'll get to here in a minute. So for each of the 4 sections of the exam, Gleim breaks all of your study material down into 20 study units. It's pretty clean and simple. You just need to complete 20 study units, then a couple mock exams and a final review, and then exam day. But as you can probably guess, each study unit is sort of lengthy. Each unit covers a specific subtopic and is broken down even further into bite-sized subunits. But anyway, you kick off each study unit with a diagnostic test, usually about 25 questions. This sets your baseline knowledge for the topic, and then from there, Gleim software customizes your study plan for the unit to account for your weaknesses and strengths. Then, once this is set, you dive into the learning portion of the unit. This portion of the unit provides all of your instructional material, and generally consists of video lessons, reading relevant sections from the Gleim outlines, and practice questions. You always start with the on-demand video lessons, which generally range from 8 minutes to 30 minutes in length. These come in 2 different formats. Some of these feature your instructor on screen lecturing in front of a green screen where digital notes and graphics pop up around them as they talk. And in the other type of video, your instructor is in the corner of the screen where they walk you through content review, make teaching points, and work sample prompts. Then, after the video lesson in each subunit, you get assigned a little reading from one of Gleim's outline style prep books. These are the same outline style texts that you follow along in during the video lesson, and the assigned reading is usually around 5 to 10 pages. It's not horrible. Then lastly, you work a few focus problems, which aren't CPA exam style questions, but just short quiz questions to test your knowledge from the material. There's usually just 3 to 5 of these problems. And that's the learn portion of each study unit. You do the same routine of video lesson, reading, focus problems for each of the 3 to 6 subunits in each overarching unit. Then, after you're done with the subunits, you do a sort of capstone quiz and simulation. The final quiz of the study unit is usually 20 to 25 multiple choice questions and takes around a half hour or so. But the capstone simulation is a little bit more robust and takes more like 90 minutes. These 2 tasks together will run you a little over a couple hours, but they're meant to measure your mastery of the unit and see if you're ready to move on. And assuming you can get a decent score, that's exactly what you do. When you're done with the final quiz and simulation, you move on to the next study unit. Now, there are some extra features in each study unit like flashcards, audio lectures, and optional practice tests, but those are all just encouraged, not necessarily assigned. But that's how you do it for each of the 4 sections of the CPA exam. You just tackle one study unit at a time until you finish all 20 units, then complete a couple mock exams and a final review before sitting for the real test. It's nothing too complicated or complex, it's just work. But I do know that's a little high level, so if you want to see examples of the Gleim drills or program layout, make sure to check out that full detailed written review I mentioned. I'll have it linked down below in the description for you. I have more detail over there so you can get a better feel for what to expect. Alright, so now before I dive straight into the major pros and cons of the Gleim program as I see them, let's quickly talk about cost and how they compare to other courses. So, Gleim has 2 different packages to choose from. There's the traditional review system, that's their basic package, it costs $1,600, and then there's the premium review system, which costs right around $2,000. That option costs $400 more because you get more tools, like video lessons, digital flashcards, email support from their team, and unlimited access. And for reference, because the tools are so limited in the traditional package, most people tend to opt for the premium option. It's just a lot more bang for your buck for just $400 more. I could see the basic traditional package having some appeal if it was priced at around $1,000, but not at $1,600. But anyway, putting that in perspective, Gleim is right in the middle of the pack in terms of pricing. It's more expensive than other courses from Surgent and Jaeger, but cheaper than courses from Becker and Rogers CPA Review. Plus, one important thing to note here is that Gleim is pretty aggressive with their deals and special promos, and you can almost always find a discount on their course, so make sure to look for coupon codes. In fact, I'll do my best to keep the description down below updated with the most current coupon codes that I can find floating around out there, so make sure to give that text below the video screen a good look before buying. With Gleim, you can almost always get 10% off, and if you're really patient, you can sometimes even find it for 20 or 25% off around holidays. Okay, so now that you know how the Gleim course works and understand how it stacks up in terms of pricing, let's get into my thoughts on this program with a quick rundown of the pros and cons. And let me start with the pros. My first highlight is the video lessons. Gleim has made some massive upgrades to their on-demand videos in the last couple of years, and they are very good. They're bite-sized, deliver just the essentials, and have some really good production value. And I like how the lesson plans track with the outline-style textbooks. It keeps everything in the course just really cohesive and well integrated. It's just very good, efficient video lectures. Then second, my next highlight is how manageable they make the workload. Gleim does a great job of breaking subunits off into digestible little chunks where you can knock off 1 or 2 per night after work without a ton of effort. Some other CPA courses give you learning modules in huge chunks, which take 3 or 4 hours to complete, so I like that Gleim keeps things more bite-sized and manageable. It's a nice feature for people who are studying while working. Okay, so my third pro is Gleim's outline-style prep books. Some other companies use textbooks that are just really long and boring as can be. They're super dense and get into way too much detail. In contrast, Gleim keeps their prep books really tight by structuring them like an outline rather than a college textbook. I think this was a super smart decision on their part and makes the assigned reading very manageable. And lastly, my final highlight here are Gleim's task-based simulations. I won't lie to you, simulations are the worst part of the exam. They're challenging and time-consuming and open-ended. To me, multiple choice is just way easier. But because of this probably means you need to practice simulations more than you do multiple choice, and Gleim is great for that. They have way more task-based simulations than every other prep provider, and they are very good. They're highly realistic, and I think this aspect of their course is a big value add. Okay, so those are the pros with Gleim. Now let's switch over to the things I don't necessarily like. But before I get to that, I should just mention that every single month here at Test Prep Insight, we actually give away a free prep course to one lucky person. Super simple to enter. Everyone out there is eligible. I'll put all the details down below in the description on how to get entered, but just know it takes like 10 seconds and hey, you never know. You could win a totally free prep course from Gleim. All right, so the first negative here is that there are no live classes. If you're that type of person that can't get up for studying on your own after work and you need a regular live class schedule to keep you on point and accountable, Gleim isn't gonna be for you. In that case, I would look at Becker CPA Review. Gleim is definitely geared more towards self-studiers. Then second, there is no cram course at the end of each section. One feature that has become really popular among CPA review courses is a final, all-encompassing cram course right before test day, but Gleim doesn't have one. I'm talking about a condensed, highly intensive cram session designed to target the most heavily weighted subjects in the final hours. Now, Gleim does offer a final review mode, which gives you a final recap in the last couple days before the exam and acts as a final studying push, but it's not the same. It's more targeted to your personal weaknesses. So maybe it's just my personal preference, but I would like to see Gleim offer a distinct cram course. And lastly, the audio lectures. Gleim has bonus MP3 audio lectures at the end of each study unit, which I had pretty high expectations for. I was thinking you could listen to them while you're on your way to or from work as part of your commute, but they're not very good. They're just really dry and a little oversimplified. I was really hoping for something a little deeper and more engaging. So although I think it's a cool idea, not super well executed here. But anyway, that about does it for this review. So let's get to my final verdict. Overall, I really like the Gleim CPA review course. From the video lessons, to the manageable workloads, to the realistic simulations, to the concise prep books, this course has a lot going for it. I don't necessarily think it'll work for people that need live classes, and there are a few minor issues I spotted with it, but by and large, I really like Gleim and have no issue recommending this course, especially given that it's like half the cost of Becker. That's always nice. So at the end of the day, I think Gleim's a solid prep program and will work really well for most CPA candidates. But anyway, that's all I've got for you. I hope this video was helpful and you learned a little something about Gleim. If so, make sure to return the favor by subscribing to our channel, liking this video, and dropping me a quick comment below. That would be really appreciated. Or again, if you want to see that full, detailed written review that I mentioned earlier in this video, just hop on over to our website, testprepinsight.com, or check out the other videos on our YouTube channel. We got a bunch of great content out there. But as always, thanks for watching, best of luck, and I'll see you in the next one.